awful delay. So, okay, so we're talking about cutting up sprites here. So here I have this sprite sheet, and the actual pixel art is 85 by 85, but I leave this gap here, this offset and this padding of two pixels around the outside of each of these sprites. And I was talking about basically when you have a texture like this and you're sampling images outside of a texture in sort of a 3D engine, sometimes there's pixel bleed. And I've done like a few courses before, or at least definitely like my Lynda course and some other stuff. And you'll see there's like maybe sometimes when there's an animation, one of these lower sprites will actually sample the bottom row of pixels from the texture above it, or I'm sorry, from the sprite above it. So that's why I give it a little bit of padding, and this cleans that up. So at least if it is going to sample some sort of a piece of artwork above it, it's just going to be empty space, and it's incredibly important to make sure you do that. So I'm going to hit slice here. We'll hit apply, and let me check my notes and see what the next thing is. Alright, so then once you do this and you create these sprites, you'll see here that we now have individual pieces of artwork for each one of these. If I was to go back and look at the zombie, which I haven't cut out yet, you'll see there's only one sprite, and you'll see that this corrected itself. I have the whole sprite texture now down here in the scene, but it's really just sampling from the first sprite. So now, because this is cut up, we can actually drag individual sprites out and do some stuff with that. I'm actually going to delete these right now. I don't need them. So the next thing that we want to do, oh, and by the way, if you sometimes when you're working in Unity, it might be defaulted into something like this. So this, I think, is like the default view, and you can use this little slider scale thing down here. And I like seeing everything in list view. So if you did want to see things a little bit more visually, you can always increase this. So that's the player. Let's take a look at the zombie. So again, in order to cut up a sprite, we're basically just going to set it to multiple mode. We'll hit apply, and then we'll open up the sprite editor. So I try to make my sprites roughly the same when it comes to like players or characters or bad guys in the game. So in this case, they're going to be cut out exactly the same. So we're going to hit slice here using the same values of 85, 85 and the padding and the offset. And we can hit apply. So now we have the zombies. Let's see if I have any other artwork that I need to cut out for right now. So okay, it looks like the other thing that I need to do is cut out the dorm tiles. So this is going to be basically in this course. I'm going to wind up teaching you how to build a tile map editor, because it's sort of one of the shortcomings is that when you basically are working with when you're working in Unity and 2D games, you wind up not having there's no way to like build a map outside of just dragging stuff individually. So we're going to build a very simple kind of tile map editor that allows you to use each of these tiles. So let's actually cut them out. So we'll set this to multiple, we'll hit apply, we'll open up the sprite editor, and each of these are going to be 80 by 80. So, and because these are not animated, I don't actually give them any padding or anything. So here we'll just slice this, but there's one important thing that we need to do, and a lot of people send me emails because they miss this step when they're working with this in the book. And what you need to do is, for tiles that'll later be used in the tile map editor, we need to set the pivot point to the top left. And so basically what that means is that this is the point at which this tile will, its coordinate space will be placed. So this will be 0, 0 almost for this. And then also, if you were to rotate this tile, it'll rotate around this pivot point. By default, it's usually center. And a lot of the times when it comes to stuff like bad guys or characters or stuff that